But he's actually not anymore involved in producing music. He was the one that got me started with all of it. Hey guys, welcome to the vlog. It's time to hurry up, head over to the studio. I'm expecting a guest, someone you know here from the vlog that you haven't seen in a while, and I also haven't seen in a while. I just need to hurry because I'm as always a little late. Barely made it in time, and I just got a call from him that he's coming a little late. But to keep us entertained in the meantime, another unboxing. Yes, I know I said no more equipment, but this is really necessary. I don't have a keyboard up here, so I just chose the Panorama T6 by Nectar and we'll give it a try. It's like a controller MIDI keyboard, so you can play, of course, and then also control your DAW. And yeah, I don't know. I will maybe do a full review test in a couple of weeks. First need to test it and integrate it into my workflow. Cable, instructions, no one needs. I mean, it's a MIDI keyboard. And of course the keyboard itself, a couple of faders, a couple of knobs, a couple of pads. That's always handy to have. So yeah, let's just put it in its place. Really happy with it. This now looks more and more like a real studio. We got the keyboard now covered, the screen covered, a little bit of outboard gear. Just to impress, we don't use that stuff. Stands for the huge speakers. Just need to order 2 more for the other speaker, and then we're all set in here. The only thing missing, of course, a real table. This is some shitty IKEA thing that is really wobbly, but I definitely want to build the desk myself. I still don't really have a plan how to build it, how to shape it, but now that I see everything here in place, I'm thinking more and more to go for like a U shape, so that it's really just centered around me, got everything in reach, and like sitting perfect in the sweet spot. And then maybe a seating solution right here in front of the DJ booth. A couch might be too big actually, so maybe just 2 seats and a table in between. DJ equipment will stay as it is. We'll just take care of the cable management pretty soon, hopefully. And then here in the back where I like to do my business stuff and got all of my vinyls underneath. The walls are still a little empty. This one right here will maybe be like a cable and utility and microphone wall. I don't know how really to do it. Maybe just like with nails and boards into the wall and like being able to select whatever you need. Here in between probably just a bookshelf, putting those 3 off the floor and all of my old MacBooks. On them, all of my old music, like everything I did in the past 10 years, every single song, I can still access it on those old machines. I just plug them in and I can get all of my files out of there. It's still running Logic, I think 6 and 7, depending on which machine. So those old projects that can't be opened with Logic X, still accessible. So whenever you switch a computer, switch big versions, just keep the old computer if you can, and if it's not really worth it to resell it, so that you can access your old projects. Very, very important. There he is with pizza.
How you doing?
New car?
Yeah, new old car.
We'll check it out later.
Party tank.
Welcome.
Hi.
A lot of stuff changed. I will show you later.
Yeah, it's been a while.
First pizza.
First eating.
That's a party truck.
Absolutely is.
And I saw from upstairs you got all of the CDs in there.
Exactly, and you see that in the middle. First
That's
thing to build in. Just a solid boombox.
Of course. Sound system's the most important.
Totally, totally. Well,
bye bye.
see you around.
Yes, have a nice day. Bye bye.
Say hi to Vanessa. Yeah,
it was really nice catching up with Gordon. As you might know, he's also DJing sometimes with me, but right now not anymore because we both got fired from this one club. I don't know why, but that's just the way it is. He now switched his job and is still doing like his hockey company on the side, but he's actually not anymore involved in producing music. He was the one that got me started with all of it. I don't want to turn this in another hangover story time, although there is no hangover, but yeah, really, like I think like I don't know, is it like 16, 17 years ago. My interest in DJing kind of started, bought my first equipment, and back then in school there were two other people DJing, him and someone else, both a little bit older than me. So I asked Gordon if he could show me a little bit how to DJ and like get me some first gigs. At the very beginning we were in youth clubs, so he was DJing, I was allowed to do the first half hour. He was always doing house music, I was always into hip-hop music. He knew how to play, I didn't. So for music production we kind of teamed up for our first couple of songs. All of them still on the very old iMac and then later on the G5. Really embarrassing stuff from today's standpoint, but we thought those were huge hits and we're in this illusion that we wrote good music that actually should be released, and we played it to someone else that was already a DJ that was properly releasing on good labels with like small hits on the top 40 in Italy and stuff like that. We played him our song and he just looked into our eyes and said it's like complete shit, which opened our eyes again to just work more on the music. Gordon then switched over the years, did just DJing and stopped producing more and more, and I started getting more and more involved into producing music, and now I'm sitting here with this nice studio, doing this channel, making my music full-time. I couldn't be happier. I never thought that this would turn out like this. So huge thanks to Gordon for teaching me like the first couple of steps, what a DAW is, how to use it. Back then we were working with Reason, how to actually play chords and like simple melodies. All of that was from him. There was no other way learning that besides like going to a music school, which was way too expensive for me. Or yeah, actually there was no other possibility back then. There was no YouTube and there were no tutorials. There were some magazines, but it was hard to get them, usually just in English, and you had to order them from the UK to actually get any information about music production. So it was all down to actually having someone mentoring, which I absolutely love. I think this is by far the best way to learn. Just learn it from someone else. So if you want to get into music production, the number one thing you should do is try to seek out to someone else that is already doing music. Try to be nice, contact them, tell them about your passion for music, that you want to learn it, and then maybe they will have a couple of hours time to just teach you, show you how things work, or maybe give you feedback for your songs. It's really the best way. I mean, nowadays you can also rely on YouTube videos, but honestly, every time I check out a YouTube tutorial, it's usually very, very, very specific, way too nerdy, like stuff you don't actually really need in your music production. There are so many people talking about multiband compression, mid-side EQing, doing like really fancy routing and stuff like that. I mean, yes, this is important to know that it exists, because sometimes you might actually have to use it, but in 99% of the cases you can get away without using these kind of fancy techniques. It's just like really down to making good music, trying to mix it really nice. I think an EQ, a compressor, some reverb should be actually enough to get a decent enough song to get it out there. Don't want to say everything is bullshit on YouTube, but maybe watch 2 or 3 videos about a topic to understand how it works. And then actually you will learn more from just doing it and implementing it. A lot of people ask me how to set a limiter, how much gain reduction, how many dBs and what settings and where to put the knob. I never speak about these things because they are not really relevant. It depends on the song. The answer would be always it depends on the song. You need to set a compressor every single time differently for every singer, for every source material you have on the computer. You just need to learn it, and the only way to learn it is by actually doing it. So try to find a mentor, get involved into the music production process, get your setup all ready, and then just do a bunch of tracks. Like try to make like 20, 30 a year, at least start them, and this way learn. If there's a technique you don't understand, or for example you have a problem that, let's say, the guitar and the vocals colliding, then maybe search for a video that might inspire you or give you a hint or an idea how to actually solve it, and then try it out for yourself. That's the only way to advance. That's basically how I learned everything. I never went to a music production school. I didn't take any courses or anything. I learned it all just by trying it out, and for the beginning really get someone to actually teach it to you, because just figuring out how a DAW works can take quite some time if you don't know where things are. But also for that, nowadays you got actually pretty good tutorials, so just get started and don't forget to actually make music instead just watching other people make music, because that's the only way you will advance. With that being said, it's time for me now to get back to producing. Still working on the Stay follow-up. I hope I will advance on that in the next couple of hours, maybe, I don't know. But we will see us tomorrow back again here in the studio.